Everybody, Nigel here with you, Nigel's Modelling Bench, and I'm going to do a quick review of this kit that I've just literally had delivered to me from Hannants here in the UK. This is probably one of the last Wingnut Wings kits you'll ever be able to get your hands on. I know that Andy's Hobby Headquarters, MBK and Hannants and another couple of places in America, I believe, have bought up the last of the Wingnut Wings stock from New Zealand, and it's been delivered to them, and they have sort of distributed it all out on pre-order. But there's a few bits and pieces, a few hangers on left on the shelves, so if you're interested, go take a look. One of the bad news about Andy's Hobby Headquarters in the USA is they will not ship outside the USA, so that's a bit of a pain. But you've always got Andy's Hobby Headquarters Europe, which I believe is MBK. But anyway, this is the Wingnut Wings 1/32 scale model of the Salmson 2A2 US Air Services. It's actually US Army Air Services, isn't it? A beautiful artwork as usual with Wingnut Wings. Beautiful box with silver on there and everything. Very, very high quality kits. Probably one of, if not the best manufacturers of kits on the planet, and unfortunately now no longer with us. So looking around the box, we can see here you get 5 schemes in here. It's amazing, isn't it? 5 schemes in all these different sort of guises, and a bit of history about the aircraft. And then on the end of the box here we've got the kit number, which is 32059, and then here we've got some information about the kits inside, and you can see on here 2013. Was it really that long ago? They're manufactured in China, but they're all designed in New Zealand and everything. And there's the website if you want to go look at the website. It's amazing. There's lots of, if you pick a particular aircraft, you can go and see actual photographs of the builds. You can see hints and tips towards achieving your best finishes on your models, and there's also actual real reference photos. So very, very handy. Even if you haven't got this kit, you know, go and have a look at their site, and you'll see the hints and tips bit. You know, how to paint the linen, how to do rigging, how to do this, that, and the other. It's absolutely awesome. So looking inside the box, they are always very well filled, and as you can see, there's no room for anything else in here. I'm not going to be opening this kit because who knows, I may not build it. And then once you open the bags on a kit, you do tend to lose its value somewhat. So we can see in here we've got various sprues. Sometimes with these kits, certain aircraft had different engines, so you'll get different options. So you may get 2 engines in one box. But with this one, we've got the, what's this, a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's a 9-cylinder radial engine. So absolutely awesome. Really, really nice moulding. And one of the best things I like about Wingnut Wings kits, you will find they're designed by modelers for modelers. So you will find they won't have sprue points in silly places. They won't have ejector pin marks in silly places. It's going to be a very, very nice build. It's not easy. It's not like Tamiya, but it's a very, very friendly build, isn't it? You'll have no problems. And the plastic is also extremely nice to work with. So there we've got our engine sprue there, and you can see we've got the propeller there, which is moulded in one piece. No sink marks or anything, if you notice. Absolutely amazing. Their quality is unbelievable. Here we've got a sprue here. We've got 2 of these. So here we've got some spars. You can see on there we have the wheels, and you can see we've got the lettering on the wheels. What does that say on there? Palmer Coroero or something. But you can see we've got our pressed steel wheel centers there. So very, very nice indeed. We've got our machine guns, which are beautifully moulded. Really, really nice. You can see the finesse in which they're moulded with. And as you can see, the sprue connection points are in sensible places, not in the middle of the barrel. So you've got a bloody sprue. Well, there is there, but you haven't got a clean up sprue on a round part. So very, very nice indeed. And that one's basically the same. Got a little sprue there of clear parts, which will always be very, very nice from Wingnut Wings. Here we're getting into the main stuff. So here's the main fuselage. This is all wood and fabric. You can see the upper section there of the fuselage. You've got the pilot and the gunner behind him. This plane was actually used in a civilian role after the war. Another thing that Wingnut Wings do really, really well, and other manufacturers don't seem to be able to do it as well, single piece tailplane. You can see there, but there's no sink marks or anything, no ejector pin marks, nothing. It's just ready to cut off the sprue, stick it on. Nothing required. I mean, you've got the sprue cleanups on the front there, and the same with the fin, single piece, no problem at all. And you can see there the ribbing detail is out of this world. It's really, really nice. You can see on there as well the ribbing on that tailplane. It's not overdone, it's not underdone, it's absolutely perfect, as with all Wingnut Wings. And you can see on here you've got all the ribbing inside the fuselage there. No ejector pin marks. There are invisible places. You can see they've put them up here in the flat panel where they're not going to be seen. So really nice. We all know that a lot of manufacturers would put one right in the middle of one of those ribs, and then you'd have to try and sand it away without, you know, ruining your rib detail. So hats off to Wingnut Wings there. If you're not wary, a lot of the staff from Wingnut Wings, the people who design these kits, have moved to a new company now with the old MD from Wingnut Wings, Richard Alexander, and they've started their own company called Qatari, and they are very about, I mean, literally the next few days, I think, they're going to be releasing their first kit, which is a Mark 1A Spitfire, and I'll have one of those to review and build for you very shortly. But as I say, designed for modelers by modelers, they are amazing model kits. Wait till you see the instructions. As we can see here, we've got all the got the cockpit floor, and then we've got all the engine grills and everything here. There we've got, is that ailerons, I think, there. They are not moulded in halves. Again, they're moulded in one piece. Again, no sink marks. Again, beautiful, perfect ribbing. And you can see on these engine parts here, these vents, I mean, like I said, I really don't want to open these bags, but you can see the crispness with which they're moulded. They are absolutely stunning. Look at it, it's just beautiful, absolutely beautiful moulding. We've got some undercarriage legs there as well. Again, gorgeously done. And as I say, the floor with all the detail there. Get your wood graining going on that one, guys. It's just beautifully done. As you can see as well, the other thing they do, they make the sprues to fit the box. So when the box is in transit, you don't get all this sprues rubbing each other. And this is true for all Wingnut Wings kits. So you can see here we've got some ammo there for the machine guns. We've got the, I'm not sure what that is. I'm sure it'll become clear when we look at the instructions. And then we've got what looks like a great big radiator there. All the engine controls for the interior. You can see the interior is all moulded in one piece. You pick out the detail. It's very much Wingnut Wings thing, sort of lower part count, but it means you need to do detail painting. But it often, if you look at my Lancaster build, you'll see it works because you're not having to glue on little parts with gaps and stuff like that. So very, very nice indeed. You can see the beautiful texture on that seat there. Really, really nice. And all the little bits and pieces going around, which are absolutely gorgeous. Look at it. It's bloody beautiful. Again, no ejector pin marks in silly places, no sink marks, no flash. It's, as far as injection moulding goes, perfect. And then here we've got our wings, and as you can see again, what Wingnut Wings have managed to do is give you perfect rib structure, perfect fabric, and moulded in one piece. No ejector pin marks, no sink marks, nothing. So if Wingnut Wings can do it, why can't everybody else? Really, really gorgeous. Look at it, beautiful. And then we've got the instructions, which we'll look at in a second, and then we've got these, as usual, Wingnut Wings massive decal sheet. Now, these are luckily sealed because this has spent about the last 3 years or 4 years of its life in a warehouse, and luckily they haven't got damp because they all look okay. But you can see you've got little correction there. You've got a a nice big decal sheet there, and then here you've got your livery with your lovely stars and bars on there. Very, very nicely done. Unfortunately it's in the bottom of the box facing up, but it does look like it hadn't been damaged. Then we've got on the back there, we've got a sheet of photo etch. So we've got some belts, some little bits and pieces, we've got gun sights and whatever that is. So very, very nice. But as you can see, one of the things about these World War I aircraft, the decal sheets are beautiful because the livery, you know, you can see the American flag painted on, great big bold letters and numbers, and you know, nothing was subtle in those days. I know a lot of the German aircraft had massive great slogans written down them. You can see we've got all the instruments there for our instrument panel, all the placards, everything is in the box. You don't need anything else. You can buy aftermarket, but you don't need it. So so that's that. So let's have a look at the instructions. If you haven't heard of or seen Wingnut Wings, if you're new to the hobby, this is the pinnacle of instructions. So here we go. So you've got a beautiful book. Normally the book comes in a bag as well. This one hasn't. So you've got a beautiful book here. It's giving you lots and lots of history about the aircraft itself. And then here we've got all the specifications, the armaments, and then we've got a load of list here of references that you can get. So, and references that they've used. So going into the book here, you've got all your colour callouts in Tamiya, Humbrol, and you've also got the Federal Standard numbers, which is brilliant because if you want to use Mr. Hobby or ICM paints or Revell or whatever, you've got the FS numbers there which you need. So they're also giving you mixes here, which is absolutely fine if the colour's not available. You know, aluminium dope. I've never seen aluminium dope on the shelf, but they're telling you here what mix to use to get that. So, and there's also, like I just said to you here, see our website, hints and tips for painting wood, or you can see my channel for painting wood. I do lots and lots of it, and using oils and everything. Also, if you want to see a Wingnut Wings kit being built, I'll give Jason a shout out. His channel's called Model Kit Stuff, and he's just finished filming part 1. He's just finished putting out part 2, and he's building the Gotha UWD. A lot of people say Gotha, it's actually Gotha. I think it's got like a soft TH. It's not Gotha. I think it's Gotha. Or Gotha. I'm not sure. I'm sure you can tell me in the comments below. But basically, yeah, he's doing the Gotha UWD, which is a kit I know is currently available at Hannon's if you want to get yourself one. But it's a beautiful model. Lots and lots of wood. It's covered in wood grain actually, and he's going to be doing that as he's doing it on premieres, and I think he does it on a Friday night at 8 o'clock. I think maybe 9 o'clock, I'm not sure, but go check his channel out. You'll see part 2 up, and at the bottom of part 2 there's a link to part 1. You won't find part 1 easily, but that's Model Kit Stuff. Go and have a look at that. Here we've got our sprue callouts, and you can see here we've got some parts not used. So as I say, we've got alternate engines and stuff going in, so there's your alternate cowlings. So there will be another Salmson. It's probably a Salmson 1 A2 US or whatever, or Salmson 2 A1, and it'll have a different engine. And Wingnut Wings were very good with that. So we can see here, this is what I'm talking about with these instructions. Absolutely stunning. They are telling you what colours to paint every single part, and it's not just, you know, black. It's this bit here is that colour, that bit there is that colour. You know, it's absolutely amazing, and they're telling you where it all goes, and you can see all the colours, so it all pops out of you. You've got a piece of photo etch going in there, telling you here to trim off an aerial tube, telling you here how to put the belts in place. I would thoroughly recommend annealing those belts to get them to go down nicely. And you've got the fuel tank there. I thought it was a radiator, it's not, it's a fuel tank. And the seats going on the front there, and then we're adding in the observer seat back there. So the pilot gets an armchair and the gunner gets a stool, if you like. And then down here we've got the instrument panel going together, and again they're telling you all the colours to paint it, all the colours to paint the individual bits and pieces, and then they're telling you where all the decals go. So it's really, really nice. And here we've got some actual real reference photos. Now this is what I'm saying. Wingnut Wings, if you didn't know, Wingnut Wings developed the Border Models Lancaster but never released it because the company closed before they actually finalised the tooling. Border Models have released it with an instruction manual which is fairly basic. You can imagine if Wingnut Wings had released that Lancaster, the manual would have been probably the only piece of Lancaster reference you'd ever want. So there we go. So here we've got more interior parts going together, more ribs going in, and again we've got some real reference photos here, absolutely beautiful, with all the cables and wiring and everything. So you don't need anything else with Wingnut Wings. You can just buy the box, build the model. You don't need, I mean, you need some thread for your or whatever you want to choose for your rigging, but other than that, out of the box. Beautiful quality paper, really thick. I've seen these manuals sell. You know, how many kits can you buy on this planet where you go and sell the instruction manual? And then here we've got the usual, they're giving us all the rigging, so we can add all the stiffening wires into the fuselage assembly, and they're giving you the different diameter, they're the same diameter, 0.15mm bracing wires and control cables. So the purple ones are bracing wires and the green ones are control cables. So there you go, and then you've got all this together now, all painted wood. Absolutely gorgeous. Then we're going to move on to our fuselage halves, and they're telling us what colour to paint and what to drill for different options and everything. Got a picture there of a crashed Salmson. And then we're on to the engine. So you can see the engine's all going together. Are we going to rig the engine? Are we going to add some wires? We've got more. Oh, that's what I saw. That's the big fan on the front, which I wondered what it was. That's what I saw on the sprues. More pictures here of real engines for your references, so you've got everything you need. There's an engine there on a stand. You've got a guy here posing in front of his Salmson there. So yeah, there are shutters on the front. Okay, so you've got shutters closed, shutters open. No wonder I didn't know what they were. Never seen shutters on the front of a World War I aircraft before. Aluminium cowls, so it's telling you here how to paint them and everything, how to fit them, what to cut and what not to cut. Again, another beautiful reference photo there, showing you all the detail around the back of the engine and the sides of the cockpit. Partially salvaged fuselages. And then more engine cover work going on. And then here we're into adding our struts to our wings. We're adding the lower wing there. The wing's actually, the lower wing is not actually one piece, it's two separate parts. So you'll have to be careful with your dihedral and everything. And then we're adding the upper wing section there with the centerpiece, the cabane, Kurt Cobain. And you've got cabane strut and rigging detail going on there, so you can see all your rigging. You've got three cables there. Ooh. And then the undercarriage and everything, and I tell you not to glue the wheels on. And then you've got the little hubcaps going on. We've got some more reference photos here and instructions on how to do it. You've got the step. That's a wireless aerial, so I thought it was a step. You've got a load of them lined up there, all ready to go. And then here we're adding our ailerons. If I missed a page there, the paper's so thick, it's such good quality, it feels like you're turning 2 pages every time. External generator detail there. You can see more reference photos, radiators shut. There's the external generator. And then we've got the there, it's more detail about it. We're adding the prop, and then we're adding the tailplane and the rudder and fin. This is all very nice. You've got the rudder support strut. It's interesting, isn't it? And then we've got some more detail here, real photographs of the actual thing. And then we're building up our guns. We've got photo etch mountings for the guns. Adding the machine gun there onto the back. And there's the guy there with his twin-barreled machine gun. And then here we've got our rigging detail. So they're trying to simplify as much as they can. So you've got this flat section rigging. You can buy all this. And then you've got the round section rigging there. I think it's gas patch models that make all this rigging stuff in the flat sections. And then we've got here, you can see fuel tank breather tube, which is 0.3mm, wireless wire, which is 0.1mm, and common, which is 0.15mm. So, and you've got the green and the purple there, so it's giving you all different colour codes for all the different rigging, so you can have some fun with that. I know some people use Easy Line, or you can get the Infini one now, which is very, very nice. You can buy all these turnbuckles from gas patch models. You can really go to town. Some people use fishing line and actually make it part of the structure. So very interesting. And then here we're into our paint call-outs and decal guides. Hey, so look at these colour guides. This is the second time I've recorded this because I've had to look back and because I don't understand what's going on here, but I do now. Right, so we've got A2 and here we've got A1. Basically, these are the same aircraft. They say they give you 5 options in the kit. They actually give you 7 if you want to be picky. You've got this one here, which is A2, which is basically a later version of A1. So this is the early version of that, and you can see they're telling you that these little insignias on here, Decal 24 on the side, isn't there, and there's another couple of little differences, but that is basically an earlier version of that. So that's what that A1 is all about. So this is the obviously this is the 1st Air Squadron, AJ Coyle, JW Corley, and AE Easterbrook. So those guys, all 3 of them, flew this aircraft at one time or another, or crewed the aircraft, should I say, at one time or another. And then here you've got another picture there. There's A2, which is the actual one that's been called up for there. So basically that is that without a couple of bits and pieces on it. So very interesting. And it's nice they've got pictures of the real aircraft so you can see how it was weathered at certain periods. And there's another picture there of A2, which is that one there. Going over the page here, we've got B1. So we've got B1 and B2 again. You've got an early and a late version of the same thing. So very, very nice, and they've got all the notes there telling you what was going on. This one's of the 12th Aero Squadron. This is D.H. Arthur and H.T. Fleeson in late 1918, so that's going to be right before the end of the war, I'm guessing. And here we've got version C, which is the 91st Aero Squadron. So we've got K. Douglas, L.C. Hammond, and A.M. Seymour. Did I not see L.C. Hammond earlier on? No, I didn't. So again, this is late 1918, so this is in the war. You can see it looks lovely with this prancing horse or whatever that is there, and it looks like a dragon and a big 18. These World War I aircraft are so bright and colourful, it's amazing. Total opposite of today's low-vis US stuff, isn't it? And then we've got D here, which is the 186th Aero Squadron, and that's H.C. McCaslin, mid-1919. So this is obviously after the war now. So I'm guessing they still had 2 men in there, but I'm not seeing a gunner's name, so maybe the name is the pilot. So maybe these had 3 pilots and various gunners. And then here we've got version E, which is the 1st Aero Squadron again, W.P. Irwin and A.E. Easterbrook. I know I've seen his name before, Easterbrook, June 1919. So again, this is after the war. So not quite sure exactly what they were doing, but I'm sure down here it will tell you. And you can see there's that gun mount which is made of photo etch. Again, beautiful aircraft, very big old thing, and they are very large World War aircraft, a lot of them. And then here we've got some great reference photos of various different aircraft, and it's basically picking out little areas. It's telling you, what they are. It's very much like the photo archive books you see from Wing Leader. And in fact, the early Lancaster one was written by Richard Alexander, who's the guy who's done all this. So there we go, you can see all the references there pointing out to you what you need to look at. And here's one with the canvas missing. There's one there which is all crashed. We've got one here on fire. And we've got some pictures of genuine canvas from those aircraft. There's all the genuine colours. And you can see the lovely big stars and bars there and the big bold 15, which is great. And then there we've got the final photo outside the Zeppelin hangar at Trier. So it's got the external generator added. And here you can see you've got the 3D modelling by Nick Moore. We've got profile art by Ronnie Barr. We've got the box art by Steve Anderson. And here we have project coordinator Richard Alexander, who is now the managing director of Qatari Models. So there we go. So all in all, it's absolutely gorgeous. And there's a list of what you should have in your kit. So if you haven't got any of that, tough. Because I don't think you'll be able to get them replaced. So there we go. So as you can see, beautiful model, beautifully moulded, and as you can see here, it's going to be quite large. You've got one wing there, and then you've got the fuselage is that wide, and then you've got another wing there. So it's a good sort of, it's almost the wingspan of the length of an A3 cutting mat. So there we go. So I hope you enjoyed that. Sorry I don't want to get any sprues out of the bags, obviously. As I say, if you want to see one of these being built, go over to Model Kit Stuff. You'll see Jason doing his there, and he's just working on the cockpit now, doing loads of wood and rigging and stuff. And he's doing wood graining, and he's doing wood decals, and then weathering them in and everything. I'm sure you'll enjoy it. Go take a look. So thanks for watching. I'll put a link to it down below. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.